Expensive maintenance, complicated tech, and a steep price tag are just the beginning of the issues that come with the 2025 Range Rover Sport. So, before you drop over $100K on this luxury SUV, here are 6 reasons why you may want to reconsider. 1. Steep price tag. The base P360 SE model starts around $83,600 before destination charges, and that figure can swell to over $120,000 for the P550e Autobiography or P530 First Edition trims with just a few option packages. That's dangerously close to full-size luxury SUV territory. Think BMW X7 or Mercedes GLS. Yet, what you receive in return isn't nearly as generous. Adaptive cruise control, a head-up display, 4-zone climate control, and massaging seats, features often included in similarly priced competitors, are buried deep in add-on bundles. Want soft-closed doors? That's extra. Fancy the Meridian Signature sound system? Another multi-thousand-dollar jump. Even rear-seat amenities like ventilated seating or powered sunshades require additional spend. Meanwhile, some interior materials, particularly around the lower dash and door cards, reveal harder plastics and inconsistent trim gaps that feel out of place at this price. When you contrast this with the polish of a Genesis GV 83.5T Prestige, offered for $20,000 less, with real metal inlays, Nappa leather, and a panoramic 3D instrument cluster, the Range Rover Sport starts to feel more like a fashion statement than a fully baked luxury product. In essence, you're paying heavily for styling, badge appeal, and off-road pedigree that most buyers will never use, rather than day-to-day comfort or feature completeness. The math just doesn't add up for practical luxury seekers. 2. Various reliability concerns. Land Rover's historical reliability woes are well documented, and the 2025 Range Rover Sport, despite claims of improvement, still inherits some of those lingering ghosts. According to data from J.D. Power and Consumer Reports, Land Rover continues to rank near the bottom of the industry for dependability. The Sport, which utilizes the MLA Flex platform shared with the larger Range Rover, is burdened by a complex blend of air suspension systems, electrically actuated anti-roll bars, and adaptive terrain management software, all of which increase the potential for costly issues. In previous model years, owners have reported sensor failures in the height-adjustable suspension, touchscreen malfunctions, and persistent electrical bugs affecting everything from the HVAC system to the digital driver's display. Warranty coverage includes 4 years or 50,000 miles. Decent, but not outstanding, and extended service plans are both expensive and frequently necessary. The Sport's hybrid variants also add layers of complexity, and some owners have cited inconsistent regenerative braking and issues with the onboard charging software. Service wait times at Land Rover dealerships can be long due to parts availability and lower technician density compared to brands like Lexus or Audi. And if you live far from a dealership, prepare for an even more frustrating ownership experience. In short, the luxury SUV market is moving towards stress-free ownership and minimal downtime. The Range Rover Sport still feels like a roll of the dice. 3. Frustrating infotainment system. In a world where automotive technology evolves yearly, the 2025 Range Rover Sport's infotainment setup is trying to play catch-up, and not entirely successfully. The centerpiece is a 13.1-inch curved touchscreen running the latest Pivi Pro software. It looks good at first glance, sharp resolution, haptic feedback, and a relatively clean layout. But under scrutiny, the system's shortcomings become obvious. Touch sensitivity can lag, especially when multitasking or accessing submenus. Climate controls, seat settings, and drive modes are all tucked into the screen, leaving you fumbling while driving. Voice control integration via Amazon Alexa is present, but lacks the responsiveness and natural language processing that makes Mercedes MBUX or BMW's iDrive feel truly advanced. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are wireless but prone to random disconnections, especially in colder climates or when transitioning between user profiles. There's no redundant rotary controller or touchpad, so all input must go through the screen, regardless of road conditions. Even the 13.7-inch digital instrument cluster, while customizable, doesn't offer the same layered depth or augmented navigation overlays as you'll find in an Audi virtual cockpit. Over-the-air updates are supported, which is a step forward, but Land Rover's track record of timely software enhancements remains spotty. For a vehicle targeting tech-savvy luxury buyers, the digital experience feels more like a beta test than a polished product. 4. Mediocre efficiency and powertrain options. You'd expect a modern luxury SUV to balance performance and efficiency, but the 2025 Range Rover Sport continues to stumble in this area. The P360 and P400 models use a turbocharged 3.0-liter inline-six with a mild hybrid system, delivering 355 horsepower and 395 horsepower respectively. While the power delivery is smooth and refined in normal driving, there's noticeable hesitation under sudden acceleration, and the 8-speed automatic can be reluctant to downshift when urgency is needed. Real-world fuel economy often falls short of EPA ratings. 22 miles per gallon combined for the P360 and 21 miles per gallon for the P400. Especially in urban environments where the heavy curb weight, over 5,200 pounds, and all-wheel drive system demand more juice. The P550e plug-in hybrid adds some green credentials with 542 horsepower and 51 miles of electric-only range. But that figure is optimistic in colder weather or during spirited driving. Worse still, it uses a relatively small 31.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack that takes longer to recharge than you'd expect. There's also no full EV version, something many competitors are already offering or have on the horizon. The top dog P530 model features a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 sourced from BMW, delivering impressive performance, 0-60 in 4.3 seconds, but returns a dismal 18 miles per gallon combined. Range Rover's powertrain seemed trapped in a transitional phase, neither fully electrified nor truly optimized for combustion. In 2025, that's no longer acceptable for buyers who expect both thrills and environmental consciousness. 5. Expensive maintenance costs. While many luxury vehicles come with higher upkeep expenses, the Range Rover Sport takes it a step further, with routine service and unexpected repairs quickly adding up to thousands annually. Oil changes alone can cost upwards of $350 at a Land Rover dealership, thanks to synthetic oil requirements and labor-intensive service procedures. Brake pad replacements often exceed $1,000 per axle, and that's before factoring in rotor, wear or labor costs. Even seemingly minor components, like sensors or electronic modules, can carry steep price tags due to their proprietary nature and limited aftermarket support. The vehicle's advanced systems, such as the air suspension, terrain response 2 drive modes, and hybrid components in the P550e, require specialized tools and knowledge to service, meaning you're often locked into dealership servicing, where hourly labor rates can exceed $200. Tire replacements can be costly as well, especially on trims with 21-inch or larger wheels that require high-performance rubber. And because the Sport leans heavily on tech, adaptive cruise, active roll control, electronic air suspension, the risk of electronic failure is higher, with potential repair bills to match. Even battery replacements for the mild hybrid system or key fob reprogramming can cost significantly more than expected. Extended warranties and prepaid maintenance plans are almost essential if you plan on long-term ownership, which speaks volumes about Land Rover's own confidence in long-term durability. Depreciation also compounds the financial pain, as resale values tend to drop quickly, partly due to the brand's reputation for long-term reliability concerns. In total, 5-year ownership costs for the Range Rover Sport can rival or exceed full-size German luxury SUVs, despite offering less interior space and similar or lower feature content. For buyers looking to combine luxury with peace of mind, these running costs are more than just a red flag, they're a blinking warning light. 6. Poor ride quality. Despite its premium positioning and promises of an ultra-refined driving experience, the 2025 Range Rover Sport struggles to deliver consistently smooth ride quality. On paper, the adaptive air suspension, dynamic response system, and electronically controlled dampers should ensure a buttery, compliant ride. However, in real-world conditions, especially on models with 22 or 23-inch wheels, the Sport transmits more harshness into the cabin than you'd expect from a luxury SUV. The suspension tuning leans firm, and while that helps reduce roll during cornering, it undermines the plushness buyers associate with the Range Rover name. And that sportiness doesn't translate into better agility either. Through winding roads, the body control remains adequate, but there's noticeable float and pitch during transitions, reminding you of its 200-plus pound curb weight. The optional dynamic air suspension system, which is supposed to continuously monitor and adjust the ride 500 times per second, feels more reactive than proactive, and it often hesitates when switching between surfaces or sudden load shifts. For buyers expecting a serene, cloud-like ride to match the Range Rover's upscale branding, the 2025 Sport's jittery, overly firm tuning may come as a disappointment. So, is the 2025 Range Rover Sport a head-turner? Absolutely. But once you dig beneath the surface, it's clear this SUV asks for a lot, and doesn't always deliver in return. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more car reviews, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.